privilege to introduce to you our next speaker, Dr. Balachandran, Director of the Technology Business Incubator at Vellore Institute of Technology, a mechanical engineer with a PhD in management from Anna University. He brings over 36 years of techno-commercial experience and has been leading VIT-TBI since its inception in 2003. Over the past 2 decades, Sir has mentored numerous startups and innovators while anchoring national innovation and incubation programs in association with Department of Science and Technology. Not only that, Sir has won awards from the Department of Science and Technology, ISBA, that is Indian STEP and Business Incubators Association, and several key innovation committees for fostering innovation and entrepreneurial spirit in our country. He continues to play a vital role in strengthening India's startup and incubation ecosystem. I would now like to invite Dr. Balachandran to share his insights for the event.
Thank you, Dr. Sentila, for the kind words. Mr. Sandeep Nanduri, IAS Managing Director, TIDCO, Dr. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 𝗏 Vice President, Mahindra, Mr. Chandran Krishnan, Mr. Dinesh, Mr. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 and distinguished participants, a very good morning to you all. So it's a great privilege and honor to be part of this August gathering. And this initiative of TIDCO, the University Research Park initiative, and also the scheme that they have launched to commercialize the academic research, it's a commendable one. And as a sequel to that, the program also has been put together to discuss various aspects of taking the technology to the market. So in that sense, this is an important occasion, and wishing the proceedings the best for the day. So we are at kind of a very, very volatile situation. The country is talking about the fuel reserves for about 25 days. And most of the happenings around the world, the volatility is not in months or not in 6-month timelines. It's happening almost every day. Almost at every hour, the changes are happening. And the kind of geopolitical scenario which is panning out at least at 3 hotspots, if I may say so. One at the China-Taiwan corridor, the other one at Ukraine-Russia. The third recent one at Iran. All these are not in isolation. Each of this have its significance in our day-to-day lives, whether we like it or not, whether we want to be a party to it or not. And if you also look at the underlying issues beyond the political aspects, it's also linked to the energy security, the food security, and it's all about strategic asserts of the powerful countries wanting to conquer over the others so that their own sovereignty is not affected and they are also in the command of the situation. So this is the new reality in which we are all operating, which essentially translates into huge self-reliance for our own country. And this self-reliance is built through the fundamental research, the discovery, the exploratory research, which also gets translated into application for our self-reliance. This cuts across all the sectors, whether it is defense, whether it is agriculture, food, energy. In all these areas, there is a continued need for innovation, continued need to reduce the import dependency, which will also have an impact on the balance of payments and the economic outcomes. So first of all, as researchers, whether you are a faculty or whether you are a startup wanting to serve the market, please see the big picture. You are not doing something in a piecemeal way. You are helping the country to achieve this self-reliance. So if that vision and the purpose in mind, all your work will be tuned towards quality, move away from the quantity pressure that most of you are undergoing. And this quality outcome is also with sustained efforts in research, in whatever the domains you choose to work. And there is also need to align with the strategic priorities of the country. So US Department of Defense provides a paper almost every year on the emerging needs for the country in terms of the technological requirements. So similarly, there are the Gartners and other big consulting firms also come out with the technology trends. So one of the suggestions is please see if your work, whether your passion and skills are aligned with the purpose. So if it is aligned, there is also money that is available. And so even in the recent ANRF or the RDI calls, there is a complete impetus on the application-oriented research and partnering with the industries where the outcomes have to be applied. And so these are all the points one need to ponder. Generally, what we see when we evaluate proposals, whether it is from startups or even in the recent interaction with the faculty members under this university research park, the approach is starting from the technology first approach. There is a conscious mindset shift that is needed. If you could look at the problem first and then try to tune your technology towards solving that, then it's more appropriate. I generally call this as a hammer-nail syndrome. The technology is like someone holding a hammer and looking for nails to strike. And so it should be the other way around, where you need to start with the problems of the industry or the problems of the society to work with, and then see how your science or technology is going to address that. And so with that change in mindset, I think most of the work which you will be carrying out will be relevant. And for this to happen, there is also a need to consciously immerse in that atmosphere. And so most of the times when we look at some of our student ideas, and they come as a bunch of homogeneous set of people because they are friends and they've been working on some project. A lot of assumptions are made thinking that this is what the market wants. For example, if somebody wants to solve this long prevailing problem of climbing coconut trees, and the immediate thought is I'll make a robo which will climb the tree, harvest that coconuts. But unless you go spend a few weeks with the coconut farmers, see the configuration of these trees, how are they? It's not going to be cylindrical, straight, 30 feet tall. So each tree is different. So this knowledge on the field is very, very vital. For the faculty members, it's going to provide an additional advantage. A person teaching corrosion engineering in chemistry or chemical engineering, if the person chooses to spend some time in the painting or plating shops of the automobile industry, the approach will be totally different. If they spend a month and when they come back to the institution, to the classrooms, the kind of teaching will be totally different because the understanding of the practice is much more relevant to the need of the society. So this theory, practice, theory continuum is also very, very essential. And we have lots of these examples. If you have looked at Bell Labs, I would suggest some of you to even read the book called The Idea Factory. So it constantly talks about the academic travel to the industry, academia travel to the industry, industry people coming to the academia, PhD student from the industry coming and doing the theoretical research and translating some of the problems of the industry into some products and services, going back. So when they go back, they also have an academic network to fall back on, and the next set of people come. And so this is what I call it as a theory, practice, theory continuum. And for startups also, this is very, very essential. Unless you get into the problem scenario, take a deep immersion, understand the nitty-gritties, then come back, most of your hypothesis can be discarded at the design stage itself at a low cost or no cost, and you could build appropriate solutions considering the economics. And it's also essential for you to build your resource network. Trust is very, very essential. The general tendency for this industry-academic collaboration, when there is a call for proposal, immediately reach out to the neighborhood industry, MSME known to us, and then write a proposal and submit it. But the evaluators look for the longevity of this association, whether this industry has been working with this particular researcher for quite some time, or this has been just stage manage for this proposal. And so the trust network is essential. Trust is a two-way street. If you want to be part of a network, you also need to keep contributing to that network. And the withdrawals is okay as long as you contribute more, and always see that there is no deficit in your network participation. And also essential in academia, since you are working with businesses, you also need to develop a commercial acumen about costing, about pricing. This morning I read a piece, one startup says, I've met with about 700 orthopedic surgeons. All of them have appreciated my product, but nobody wants to buy. The underlying reason is you assume that the market price is 100 rupees, I've made it for 100 rupees. But if you undergo the detailed information in the selling cost, distribution cost, the profits at every level, unless the product is made at 15 rupees, it's not going to make any commercial sense. So generally, this is another area where the people assume that I'm working on a low-cost solution, so people will buy. So please also try to acquire some commercial skills. And finally, to conclude, I think your passion, skills have to align with the purpose, which is predominantly the real problem of the society or your customer. That's where the money is going to be available, and that will also give you that ikigai movement of aligning your passion, skills, where there is a need and money. So with this, once again, thank you, the organizers, for this excellent opportunity, and wishing the event the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will make sure to zero down the hammer nail syndrome.